Good morning, it's Linda Barnes from Linden Therapies. I thought I would talk to you about chamomile. Chamomile, there's three, but we really only deal with Roman and German. The difference between German and Roman chamomile is that the German chamomile has this inky blue colour to it and quite a strong smell to it, and the Roman doesn't have that inky blue colour or the strong smell as much as the German oil. So I think if I was to be honest, I probably would say that I use more Roman essential oil than the German one, partly because I think the Roman one is milder and it suits my clientele much better. It's softer and although, you know, they're very similar actions on the body or within the body, I just prefer the Roman essential oil. Now, lots of people, I'm sure, are aware of chamomile. They may have had chamomile teas before bedtime to help them relax, which it's one of its components. It likes to relax and help relax the body. A lot of infant products have chamomile in for that very reason, and the beauty industry uses chamomile also for its properties for calming and also for skin irritations, etc. It's extremely good for a delicate skin. Chamomile is also very good for the digestive system, and if you have a colicky baby or a child with a tummy ache, chamomile can be extremely useful for that. You can make compresses. You can have hot or cold compresses. Generally speaking, warm compresses are nicer for the body. So you can put a couple of drops on a warm flannel and apply that, and that can really help with tummy aches, etc. With cold compresses, they generally tend to be better for if you've had, or unfortunately, you've had a sports injury, because cold helps with the blood flow and it can help with the tissues to recover a little bit better if you use cold compresses. Lots of people like to use a combination of hot and cold compresses. Again, that really helps the circulation, and so that can be very useful too. Using essential oils, obviously we can put them in our diffusers. We can blend with a carrier oil, depending on what kind of carrier oil you prefer to use. Obviously, you need to be aware of all the safety issues with essential oils. And as I've said before, less is more. Be really careful of the quantities that you're using when you're using essential oils. Chamomile is one of those oils that is actually relatively safe. It doesn't have many toxic components to it, but even so, for young children, I'd be very careful about how much you're using. Carrier oils can be almond oil, coconut oil, any particular oil that you fancy, even olive oil if you have none of the others. But also be aware of any allergies, particularly nut allergies, where you might then want to use a grapeseed oil or something along those lines. So some people have asked me when we're talking about pain, is chamomile better than lavender, or is lavender better than chamomile? Well, they're both very similar and they both act upon the body in a similar way. However, I would say if it was a sharp pain, then lavender is actually better. Chamomile is more about the dull pains that you have. So that's the difference between the two oils. Chamomile is very widely used for relaxing the body. So if you don't have any lavender, then you will get some results using your chamomile. I've always fancied a chamomile lawn, but have failed miserably to actually create one. I don't know if you're familiar with the flower, but it's like a small daisy flower, very, very pretty. And as I say, it's one of my things that I would really like to have is a chamomile lawn. So just to recover, chamomile is extremely good for a delicate skin. It's used a lot with infants. very calming for the nervous system. Really good if you're suffering, or hopefully you're not, but you're suffering with insomnia. It's a great anti-inflammatory. It's very good for relieving inflamed skin or any particular itches. Good for earaches in children, and it does boost the immune system. It boosts the white blood cells within the body. It's very, very good for any type of cramps. You know, if you've got a period pain, then it's extremely good for that. Using warm compresses is probably better than the cold, just because it's just nicer for the body to have. And at that time, I think you prefer warmth rather than cold. It's actually very good for balancing during menopause systems, and also it helps relieve and smooth inflamed joints and muscle pain. So that is a little bit about the chamomile oils. I hope you found that useful. I will be posting some other oils up there, and if you have any questions, please let us know. Keep safe, keep well. Namaste.